If you've ever tried to build a 3D experience for the web, you know the headache of juggling a bunch of different apps. Well, today we're going to break down a tool called WebGL Studio, and it promises to finally fix that frustrating gap between visual design and actual code. So, why does a tool like this even need to exist in the first place? Let's set the stage with the core problem. For years, creating 3D web content has felt like this broken relay race. You model something in one program, you write code in another, and then you just cross your fingers and pray it all works when you refresh the browser. It's a constant, jarring back and forth. Does this whole setup look familiar? I bet it does for a lot of you. You've got your 3D modeling software, your code editor, and your browser all fighting for space on your screen. Every single tiny change means you're exporting, importing, and reloading. It's a workflow that doesn't just waste your time, it absolutely kills your creative flow. Yeah, this slide just nails the issue. On the left, you see that old clunky loop, model code preview, and then do it all over again and again. But on the right, that's the promise of WebGL Studio, one single unified platform that's designed to break that frustrating cycle for good. And that, of course, brings us to the solution. WebGL Studio isn't just another editor. You got to think of it as a unified environment, one designed to pull every single piece of the puzzle, the visual stuff, the coding, the previewing, all into one streamlined space. I really love this quote from the project's documentation. It just perfectly captures the mission here. See, this isn't about replacing artists or developers. It's about building that practical bridge where visual creativity and hardcore technical precision can finally work together, seamlessly. So what is it exactly? At its core, WebGL Studio is a browser-based 3D scene editor. The two big keywords to focus on here are consolidates and rapid iteration. It brings everything you need into one spot, which lets you build, test, and polish your ideas way faster than you ever could before. Okay, so how does this actually work in practice? Let's break down that central workflow, the core loop that really makes this tool so powerful. What's so amazing here is just how simple this core loop is. First, you get to visually author your scene, dragging and dropping shapes right on the canvas. Then, you refine it. The tool generates the 3JS code for you automatically, and you can jump right in and edit it for that super precise control. And finally, you preview. Just hit run, and you see your changes live, instantly, all without ever having to leave the editor. But hold on, this is not just for simple prototypes. WebGL Studio is absolutely packed with professional-grade features that give you some really deep control over your scene. Let's take a look at how this all comes together into a complete toolkit. This is all about giving you that fine-grained control. You've got a full multi-layer system, just like in pro design software. You get direct transform gizmos to move, rotate, and scale your objects right there on the canvas. And of course, a super detailed properties panel lets you dial in the exact values for color, position, and everything else. It's a serious setup for serious creators. And of course, you need textures to bring your scene to life, right? You can apply them from a URL, upload your own files, or even tap into a public library. But crucially, there's also a snapshot-based history system. This is a huge deal because it lets you experiment freely without ever being afraid that you're going to make a mistake you can't undo. And check this out. Here's a really modern twist. An integrated AI assistant. It's powered by Gemini 2.5 Flash, and it's specifically designed to give you quick, to-the-point technical answers. So if you get stuck on a piece of 3JS code or a concept, you can just ask for help right inside the editor. So once you've made something awesome, how do you get it out of the studio? Well, you have several pro options. You can grab a high-quality PNG snapshot, you can download a standalone HTML file, or, and this is my personal favorite, you can export a PDF that includes both a visual preview and the color-formatted code. How cool is that? It's perfect for team reviews. And don't think you're chained to your desk either. The entire interface is responsive. On a mobile device, the layout smartly adapts, using a bottom action bar and pop-up panels to give you full access to all the core features, whether you're on a giant monitor or a tiny phone screen. All right, and for all you developers watching, let's peek under the hood for a second. This project is built on a rock-solid modern foundation. We're talking React 18, TypeScript, 3JS, and the Monaco editor. Yep, that's the same editor that powers VS Code. This is not a toy. It's built with serious industry-standard technology. So, we've seen the problem, the solution, and all the cool features. Now let's talk about what this actually enables for you, the creator. And really, this is the ultimate takeaway. By bringing everything together, WebGL Studio creates this controlled, fast, and just plain intuitive environment. It doesn't matter if you're a student learning 3D, a prototyper testing an idea, or a developer building a full-blown experience, this unified workflow is designed to just accelerate your process. And maybe the best part of all is that this entire project is open source. You can dive into the code, you can contribute, or you can just use it for your own projects starting right now. You can find the full repository at the GitHub link right there on your screen. And that leaves us with one last big question to think about. When all those barriers between visual design and technical code are just gone, what new possibilities open up? What are you going to build when they finally become one?